Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to the Lion's Den in Prince George, British Columbia. It is January of 1942 and we put on the stuff for the new trolls. If you want to know how we got here, then go back and watch the other videos. I'm not going to talk about the whole do a thing because it could be that you just watched it a minute ago, the last video. So go watch the other video. You shouldn't watch this one first. Anyway, Madman Dan isn't here. We got to try to get this done before the end of the month when he's moving away, and so we're doing what we can to move it along. So Panzer King and I are going to take Germany, Russia, and Japan's turn, and then we're going to all come back tomorrow and then go take it from there. So just to try to get as much done as we can, right? And so the two of us have got some time today. Anyway, let's go. So it's Germany's turn, and before we get to Germany though, let's just walk you around the board. In case you're stubborn, and this is the first one you've watched, you see that they're having the Spanish flu there. And American Navy's down here. But there's lots going on down here. And now that Germany's down here, like they were lucky, they one of the random events turned out to be an Axis coup. And so they got one of them. And then they were able to take the other one in a war between those two countries, which was another random event. Anyway, so that's made it much more interesting down there, and we're going to roll for those guys in a minute. The Japanese Navy, if you've forgotten, they're in Calcutta there, but they're going to have to leave because they've got really no dudes to speak of. Probably not enough to take Calcutta. Well, they might. They could take Calcutta. I don't know. We'll see what he does. Anyway, he's got to get his boats out here because the Americans are. Where's their navy? Oh, there it is. It's way over there. So they got to get home pretty quick here. Like they're going to have to merge their two navies, or the Americans are going to pounce on one of them, right? So he's got a choice to make there. Does he go for Calcutta or does he go for safety? We'll see. The Italians and the French, they're still staring at each other. Weirdos. And we've already looked over here. We brought the dice trays. If you've been following along here, we get a lot of cocked dice with like we're rolling them in these things here. And so I brought my dice trays over. We're going to try that out, see if that lowers it. So the most interesting fight right now is going to be Europe. We'll take a look at Western first. So there's nobody really threatening him here on Western Europe just yet. They're down in Spain down there, but that's almost over. Like the Germans are just about done there. And so eventually they're going to start coming over here. They can't just, wait until that happens and then build a bunch of stuff, right? Because you can only put so much stuff on your factories at a time. So he's got to put a little bit there every turn. And you can see the stuff that he bought because he had a week to do this. Where the green chips are, that's the stuff that he's purchased. He hasn't taken his turn yet. But wherever the green chips are, that's the stuff that he's purchased for this turn. And so he's got to watch out for that. But what's more pressing right now, what makes that interesting is that they got the Russians just about in full force right now. And so they got to try to keep up with them. And like you look here, they only purchased 2 things, 4 things, 6 things, 8 things, 9 things. 9 things up here for the is that all?
Yep. Just 9 items on the Eastern Front.
So anyway, and Russia, meanwhile, is going to put just about everything there, right? Because like you're counting this down here, they could only put 1 thing over there if they do, right? And they're not doing too bad over there. Like Japan's not overrunning them or anything, So anyway, so that's where we're at here. And he's also got his attack moves shown here. And like he's got the attack going from Turkey down there into this, just into the central part. He can't blitz over because they're in the mountains there. He's got an attack down there in Bulgaria where I dropped off a couple of Marines last turn. He's attacking this spot here. He dropped in Fallschmiger in that spot. He's attacking this spot, and I don't think he's blitzing into the city. He's only got 4 things here.
From the southern force, I'm blitzing into
But
Kiev.
from here, he's attacking this militia here. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. Now these 2 guys have got to stop, and the dude, and then he's got 3 and 5 tanks there that can carry on. So he's going to take a look at that point. Does he want the city here, or does he want to go after these guys here? Both of them are good targets, right? He was going to go after this city here, but he couldn't blitz into fortifications. Anyway, so he's decided instead the dudes that we're going to attack into here, he's going to attack up here. I think that's a pretty good move there. Try to stop these guys from making their way past, right? Anyway, so let's do his rolls here.
Let's do random events
Oh,
first.
random events. Okay, let's try the random event thing again. Okay, I'll roll it. 9. Nope, we're not taking that one again. No way. We've decided that there's a few of them that we'll take again, like just the coups, and the other ones, no, we're only doing those once. How could these events happen twice, right?
Cuban convoy.
Cuban convoy. Germany raids the Caribbean convoy line north of Cuba. German submarines that convoy raid on that line get +2 convoy rating this turn. Can you do that this turn?
Nope, can't make it that far.
Are you sure?
The only one I got is in the southern.
But where was he though?
Well, he's been there the whole time.
Oh, I thought maybe
Yeah.
he was doing it up here or something.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so then he's going to do his technology rolls. Let's see what he gets.
Okay, so let's just do the first one. Wartime economy. 1 away. Hopefully we can get 7 or more. And we got an 8, so we got wartime economy.
Ooh, that's not what we needed them to get. There it is.
Yeah. And then the next one will be improved construction. 1 away, 7 or more. Oh, I got 12. Perfect. Okay.
Improved construction?
We got improved construction. Finally,
Wow.
we're getting some rolls. The next one will be
That's gonna help
advanced
them out buying
submarine-
stuff.
Or sorry, the next one will be long-range aircraft. And we got an 8. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Got that one.
He's
And
cheating.
heavy
We should be watching
armor,
him.
9. We got that one too. So that's moved along up to stage
Third spot.
3.
Oh,
There
okay.
we go. And then the last one we'll do is we'll do heavy bombers. Try to move that one along. 9 or more. 11. Oh my god. That's awesome. We got 5.
5 in a row?
5 for 5. About bloody time. Okay. And
Let's
then we
go
got a roll for Peru.
Let's check out these dice. They feel kind of funny. I don't know.
Germany spending
I trust you.
$3.
Let's hope you don't roll like that on the battlefield.
Now I want to roll low. If I remember to roll low. Nope.
That was
We
your
missed it.
recruitment roll, right?
Nope, that was the to influence Peru. To add a third nation down there.
Okay, so you got an influence roll for the Vichy.
Yeah, well, we can do that. Vichy's turn, or we can do it now. It doesn't matter. We might as well roll. We only get 1 or less, so we'll see if we get 1.
No, 2, because they have that island as well.
Of course, we go. Okay. And we got a 6. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we're going to come back after he's done his attacks, and we'll see how well he did. Okay, so Germany has taken their turn, and some success, some failure. They did not get a guy in Madrid there, that Nice guy down there, the American minority. He survived all kinds of shots at him. He's just pretty much taken over Spain by himself. He's a Japanese Hawaiian. Anyway, so they tried to cover bomb him, and they missed him. So then they went after the Eastern Front. They did get central Turkey, and they did get. Oh, they failed down here. They took the first spot over here, but then failed big time in trying to take that city there. What is that, Smolensk, or is that the other one?
Smolensk is the north, Kiev in the south.
Oh, Kiev. So they failed to take Kiev. So then he blitzed, like he took this one down here, and then he had a choice to go after Smolensk or after I had some big ticket units over here. It would have been 7 on 7 anyway, all big units. And he decided to go here. He got scared of my city after attacking this city. And I was daydreaming about what I was going to do on my turn, which is dumb because I could have scrambled my fighters into here. He probably wouldn't have gone after the attack if I said I was going to do that, but anyway, so not, and he was able to take this one up here, and he didn't get any money off convoying anywhere, and I think I had a destroyer for somebody kill you. Where did you attack a destroyer?
Here, and you destroyed my cruiser.
Oh, and so he would have lost a transport too then, right?
Yeah, and he lost transport too. Yeah.
So I killed a cruiser over there with a FEC destroyer, I think it was.
Yeah.
British of some kind, anyway. Anyway, so my turn. This is what I bought. These things here, plus a tactical bomber. Now, one thing that's happened here also, because he took that spot, was this is like there's supposed to be a major factory here. Now, we didn't bother putting a factory on for the Germans because we're just about to take it back anyway. He's got 4 tanks there. That's what he had left after blitzing through with 5 tanks and mech and I think it was a Panzer Grenadier. Anyway, there's lots of stuff left over. You see, like I set up the Eastern Front at my house as well for the past week. He's got all week to look at this and see what he's going to do. But so do I if I want to, right? So, you know, I went home and looked at the video and set up just this. Everything else is set up somewhere else, just so I could see what might be a good defense. And, you know, like, shame on me for forgetting to do those fighters. Otherwise, it would have been just about the perfect defense, right? But just the way I was trying to plug them. But still, it's going to be tough for him because, like, in behind the stuff he's buying here, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh no, 6. I think 2 over here, 8. So he's only got 8 units to buy. I've got all of my units to buy, whatever I decide to buy, except for I'll probably put one back here, right? So it could take a few turns but unless the Germans really dice the Russians, it could be that the line works its way. And we'll see if the Russians can do it this time as well. So I'm going to set up these attacks and go ahead and attack them, and then we'll come back. Okay, so that was a pretty interesting turn. I didn't want to spend a lot of time like I did in the last video, like just thinking and doing nothing and stuff. So I've actually taken my turn and finished it. What I did was I took this back, I took this back, I took this back, I took this back. I took this for the first time. That's why you see the Air Force up here. He had a jet up here. So I definitely wanted to use my 3 planes and get him here. So what basically I've done is taken all of Russia back, right up to the border there. And as you can see, lots of guards in here. That's one of the reasons that I was hoping that he would attack me, is because when I take back Russian places, and especially Russian cities, I didn't get to do that. Then I get guards. I should get 1 more guards here too. You get 1 plus an infantry, but I don't have an infantry class guy here. So I will just get 1 guards to put under one of these things. But guards all along here, except for Finland. You don't get any guards for taking back Finland or for attacking Finland for some reason. And I didn't do anything but down there because I figured my guys, they were not big heavy hitters and they're in the mountains, so they'd be a lot better off defending against these guys instead of attacking them. Now the Japanese decided to move on out with their heavy tank there, and so now he's going to die. He wanted to die. He wanted to die, so he moved out there, and now I'm going to kill him. Right?
You can try to kill him, but yeah, he's a nice
dead.
guy.
He's dead. But anyway, that's next turn. Because Japan also took their turn. With technology, I did 3 rolls, and I got 2 of the things. I think I got heavy bombers and strategic rockets. The income bonus at the end, wartime income, I got an 11. So that's good. That's the best one I've gotten in this game. I think 7 was the best I had before that. So that was Russia's turn. And as you can see, they're much more stacked up along the Eastern Front than Germany is. Now, Japan, they were able to get rid of a couple of coastal subs there. You know, that was the least of what the Allies had over here. A couple of coastal subs that made it all the way from the coast over there. They were starving by now. But anyway, these guys did vacate here. But this battle here, we didn't roll because Dan's not here. And I did not want to roll it because there's a couple of super subs in there. They could join the battle if they want, but they don't have to. Plus he's got an attack transport and torpedo boat destroyer. And so, you know, like he could decide to submerge or not. And so I didn't know what he wanted to do. Because the planes aren't on maritime air patrol. They flew too far for them to be on maritime air patrol. But that doesn't mean that the subs can't say, okay, yeah, let's get it on, right? And join that attack. So Japan's, once they do that, then they'll be finished their turn. Did they put their shit on?
You bet.
What'd they buy?
They bought another heavy tank. They bought a medium tank. They bought a destroyer, 5 infantry, and 1 militia.
That's it, just one boat?
Just one boat.
Okay. So anyway, you see that. They might win that attack there, they might not. And then the American Navy is sitting right there. So definitely those battleships are in range, but so are the carriers. That's the American Navy right there. Anyway, we'll come back tomorrow and Dan will take his turn. He'll start off with the UK and the Commonwealth, I mean. And then France, and then Italy will go, and America, and the KMT, and then we'll do it all over again. So, see you tomorrow. All right, so we're into Sunday here, and China is about to go. They've evolved to a major power. Plus, when Japan attacked them here, their boats, then that meant that the warlords joined the KMT. So they got more money, plus they gained all those units. Kind of a drag for me because, and him, because they were hemmed in. The nationalists were hemmed in. There was nowhere they could go except for down here, right? Unless they attacked the warlords. But anyway, all the warlords have joined them now, so they're free to tee off on the Japanese and on the Russians. And the Americans just finished taking their turn. He's just putting the stuff on now. And the Navy here crushed both American navies. Like he had 2 battleships and 2 transports here, so he almost took them out with the Anzac. He got one shot with a sub there with the Anzac and got one of the battleships, and then these guys came down and got the other battleships, so that killed the transports. So then there, where those transports are, and the 2 dudes, there's also this, because the big battle happened with all the Navy. Here, I'll let you in there, Dan. The big battle happened with all the Navy, and Dan hardly lost anything because he was taking lots of hits. Now, normally, this would be a tough thing, right? Because the Americans would have to go all the way back to Hawaii to repair those ships, right? But right next door there, in Hong Kong, there's a repair facility. Can repair 5 hits on those ships at once. So there you go. That's thinking, Dan. Anyway, the V sheet, I've started moving down. I don't think that we were really up on the V sheet rules just yet, or we weren't. Anyway, he started to play now where he's bringing the V sheet out. He just wasn't playing with any units before. So they're going to start fighting with the Free French, but there's not going to be much there because we started it late and everything. The French and the Italians are still squaring off down here. Let's move around. I don't think anything has changed down here in South America. Nobody's been able to get any more. Looks like Dan is just beefing up the east coast here with attack transports. There's 3 attack transports there and all the shit to load on top of it. Plus he's moved 3 transports across there now. So you look at over here and the west, the Atlantic wall there is really small. So that's why he's got a ton of stuff, because he's got a ton of places to put it. And then the eastern front has not changed since last night. So it's looking pretty meager for the Germans here, although he is going to make a push down in there. But we're ready to go up here. So are you going to buy a factory for the KMT so you can actually buy stuff for them, Dan? Or are you going to stick to buying just dudes? His factory, you could buy anything off the American chart. Well, except for the tech. You can't buy the American tech. But yeah, like you could buy planes and...
Dan, we missed a battle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you forgot to
The battle.
squash that guy in Spain there.
And have to think of a place to put it. The factory.
Oh, whatever. All right.
For $8.
Well, I can't do anything in the west.
Okay. You've convinced me.
Yeah? Yeah, all you need is just actually you could get anything you want. You get a major, medium, minor. You might want to get a medium so you can put 3 things on. Because it'd be cheaper to do a medium if you buy it from the start. But if you buy a minor, then you can use a minor next turn, but not, and then upgrade it. You know what I mean? But it would cost you more to do it that way. But
Yeah, let's do medium.
Alrighty. So before you do that though, Dan, can you roll this thing over here so he can finish his turn? Okay, there's a battle in Spain here. You've got the Nice guy, and you got the 2 planes. So 2 at 7 and 1 at 2.
Yes. Gotcha.
Okay, so that guy's dead. Got American Pie.
15.
My Miss American Pie. I don't think that territory's worth anything though. So anyway, Germany's taking their turn. What you doing there, Panzer King?
Well, where are these?
All's militia.
Where are these planes flying back? I guess I need to know that too.
They're all women and children, you know that, right? It's a little early for that, isn't it?
Dan, are these
Yeah,
planes flying
sorry.
back to Madrid? Sorry.
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
You had enough of that Nice guy, is that it?
Well, I'd like to take them out and do something with them. I think we got to do something with them. I tried.
You mean like take them out on a date?
Yeah, oh, cool. I can't go through these.
Some wine and cheese thing?
Try carpet bomb.
Oh, I think you got a little something in your eye. Just lean over.
Ah, lovely. Okay.
So, what you doing over here, Dan?
I'm looking for a medium factory.
For the Chinese, just grab an American one.
Okay.
Can't do much in that theater. Can do something negative.
You gonna attack the Japanese?
Germans can go 3 spaces, but that doesn't really help.
What has he got there? This for sure. Probably these 2 guys.
No, I'm non-combating all the stuff up there.
It's a non-combat move. That's
That's a lot of too bad all your artillery's.
Yeah, but it was in Hong Kong, so.
Yeah. Was railway's only 1 as well. Does he even go to Hong Kong?
Yeah, probably.
What you doing?
So we're going to attack this territory and then blitz into the city after that.
Right on.
Got to take 1 city out before I die.
So you go with those 2 guys.
We're going to carpet bomb this area. This plane's going to attack here. This plane will attack the city. We'll see if it happens, if we even get to that phase.
Why would the plane attack the city? Oh, that plane.
Yeah. Because the plane can't go again, can it? Right? They can only attack one zone. I'm hoping for some good luck, but maybe my last hurrah, maybe my curse. And then, of course, we're attacking eastern Turkey there
Yep.
in force. And then carpet bombing here. And then it's all going to be non-combats and placements because I don't see anything else.
If I remember correctly, that Nice guy, he dodged 6 bombs at one time, eh?
Did you try to bomb while I wasn't here?
So, sorry.
Good. Try to hit that
Are we
DC guy
going to
again.
complete that side, or what do we have to do here?
That's complete. Did that. I have to roll tech and then I'll be done.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, that's fine. Let you
Tech
do
for
that.
who?
America.
I want to find
Jet fighters. Nope.
Okay, well, you might as well attack me then.
Crew factories.
Okay, well, let's attack this right now. You got 2 guards, and I got.
Computers.
So what do I got? Guards.
You got a tank and a man.
Okay, so 5 and 6. Let's just go over here. I got 1 at 5 and 1 at 6.
I'll roll it on this side. It's fine.
Oh,
You can roll on yours.
let's move this over here.
Attack 4. Medium. And what do I have? Self-propelled. Okay, so I guess I get first strike. But I should do my carpet bombing first, eh?
Yes.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It can all be rolled at once. And also I have a fighter in there too. Carpet bombing. Does not. See what we got.
There we are.
So 1 on the artillery. And 2 more hits there. So you're dead, and I guess you only get 1 hit back.
Okay, so I get 1 at 6. Gotcha. Nice.
Of course you get me.
I needed that.
Of
That's going to
course.
make it tougher for you to blitz.
Yeah. German swung song. It's all good.
Let's put this guy in Romania for you. Get him out of the way. So I don't think you can... Oh yeah, you got to lose 1 first.
Okay. This guy will go back. Make that German, take the Russian down. German up one.
So you got a tank and a fighter, and I have
A man and one of those.
a dude and a PO2 bomber.
All
They
right.
defend at 3. Actually, I better check that because I know they attack at 3. Pretty sure they defend at 3.
Okay, so fighter.
Yes, it's 3.
Yep.
3 and 5 for me.
1 hit. And fighter gotcha. So I guess the plane guys?
Yep. So 3 and 5. Misses.
Okay.
So I just got the dude left.
Or the tank? Is it a tank? Or no, it's an infantry sword. Yeah, that's right. And I got a hit again. On both, so.
Yes, gotcha. Nice.
So what do I want to take? What do I want to take? What do I want
He's got a tank and a fighter, and
I will
I
take.
killed one of them.
Airbase goes away too, I guess.
No,
No,
everybody's-
no, airbase stays, and this factory stays, I
Yeah,
guess. Okay.
but it'd be your factory.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna take the fighter and take the tank. I don't care. It's worth $3.
Why'd you take the city marker?
City marker. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Hoo-doo-doo.
$3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1. Fixed up. So okay. Yeah, whatever. That's.
How about that? What did you take? You took the city, eh?
Yep.
Okay.
I guess I should have put a. Well, not that I'm probably it's gonna last long, but I'll. You know what? Let's just leave the Russian factory on there. I'm sure it'll.
Yeah.
Be taken back.
Yeah, I'll be taking it back right now.
Okay, let's do Turkey here.
Okay.
And that's quite a few, actually. Holy shit.
It's a soup kitchen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cavalry. I don't think I've ever had that much cavalry. And going into mountains, so we're down 1. 1 medium armor is down 1. Oh wait,
3, 3,
no, the cavalry aren't down 1. Never mind.
2 at 3, 2 at 4, 1 at 5. 2 at 3, 2 at 4, 1 at 5.
2 mechs, but the mechs are down. The cavalry, they don't go down in mountain, do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, they do?
The
They
thing
can
about
move
them
to
is that
2.
they get to move 2.
Okay.
They're the only thing.
Well, that's good to know. Attack. It should be everything, unless I'm missing something. I don't think so. Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2, 4, what's it for? I just got 2 off you.
1, 2. I guess I got 2 too. 2 for 2. I'll take the
Okay,
cavalry.
so 2. So that's this guy and me horsey. And what are you taking off?
I'm taking off 2 cavalry.
2 cavalry? Okay. One. Just 1 off you.
Oh, no, that's. Yeah, fuck.
Nothing?
Just 1 again.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are you taking?
Cavalry.
Okay.
Hit. Hit.
Ah, misses.
Hit.
You got me.
Okay.
I misses. I missed them all.
Let's give you these back.
So he breaks through 2 places. That's what I expected. Let's see if I set it up right. We'll come back. So we're in July of 1942. Germany, Russia, Japan have already gone, and it's British's turn. So we'll go back and look at what's going on there. I think I showed you before, America damaged a whole bunch of them. They just lost one of those damaged battleships. That's the problem when you got a lot of damaged stuff. Is he came down with his kamikazes now, and one of them was a target selection, so he was able to select one of his battleships that was already damaged, so that was destroyed. And then he put damage on his carrier, which meant that he had to fly his planes over to the Chinese mainland there. What else did Japan do? Did they just move stuff back? They didn't attack anything?
Japan attacked Alaska. They attacked Canada.
British Columbia over there too, right?
And they attacked Amur in Russia.
Yeah, I see that up there now, yeah. So Russia's trying to nickel and dime us. And the Americans are over here. And you see what their navy is. Like they're going to need to repair that navy there. I told you, you're not out of it. Japan's doing all right.
No,
like they've got some options with a damaged American navy over here. You know what I mean? If you had a bunch of transports, you could just take off of the coast over there.
I'm slowly moving that way.
What did the Italians do? They only took over the island there, right? Crete or something?
Yeah, they took Crete. That was the highlight of their last turn.
And they just bought a bunch of militia. They got about 1,000 militia on Rome there, he's scared. And yeah, I think you've seen that already. So let's go take a look at what Germany and Russia did on their turns. We get past Dan here. So,
Okay.
remember what it looked like before. Yeah. The Russians did come in. They came into here and they blitzed into the city because I didn't have much left on that city. I'd used everybody there to move up. But I kind of was hoping that he would take one of my cities. That's one of the reasons why I did not torch anything. I haven't torched any facilities. I haven't moved any factories. I wanted these factories up here because like I got all these Order of the Red Banner chips just by taking it back, right? So now those guys are all more powerful. Anyway, so it doesn't look as bad now as it did for the Germans before, because he's got a million militia over here. So he spent most of his money on militia, and the same thing over here. Tons of militia he put down over here as well. It looks a little weird because the British are attacking right now, but anyway, let's see. He's trying to build his Atlantic wall over there. So the Russians, they also came down into here, into Bulgaria, like they had before. They took a guy off from over here and they brought him down. Germany had taken this spot over here. Lots of casualties in there though. Both sides took a lot of casualties. If you notice, he's got a factory down here in Syria. Might be the first factory I've seen in Syria so far. But anyway, he's also got where he can put 2 things on a factory, right? So he could put 4 things down here in this little area. So that's pretty flexible. The Russians, they took back and undid whatever damage the Germans did, and the Americans leased them a plane, so they got a pretty decent air force now. Up here, they've taken all of Finland. They just took this space and this space, so they're going to be looking at the Germans get $3 each time for having Sweden, right? So if the Russians can take Sweden out, well, they will get the $3 instead, because there's these territories are worth 3, right? So that's a difference of $6 just by taking this one out. And then there's also Finland to look at after that, but I think Sweden would be better because of that $3 bonus that he's getting. Anyway, you see though, mostly like Russia, they bought, I think, 13 infantry and then a bunch of ground units. They had 67 IPP. This time they collected 64. Do you know what you have here?
I can quickly count it up, but
It's a huge stack anyway. I only rolled 4 for my wartime economy. Most people have wartime economy right now. You find with these rolls you're going to get a lot of dice, especially if people start upgrading factories like a few people have in this game. I didn't as the Russians because, you know what, like not every technology works for Russia, right? None of the sub ones, you know, I don't need any capital ships or anything. So only a few of the technologies works for you. And I'm doing pretty good with 3 major factories getting them, right? Where did you put that medium factory on for the KMT when you bought it?
Do I have to place it on that place yet?
Oh, no, you didn't. Sorry, it's not your turn down there yet. He bought a medium factory for the KMT last turn, but it takes 2 turns to buy it, right? Anyway, so let's go take a look now. Dan is going to get some troops into France, it looks like, and then the Americans afterwards can also pester him to no end, which makes me happy because
Russia can
Stalin wants a Western front. He needs you to open up an extra front, and that's what Dan has done. You're a good man, Dan.
Right.
So we'll come back after at the end of this round. Dan's just rolling for
Strategic
technology
rockets.
right now.
Nope. Jet fighters. Nope.
Okay, wartime income.
Heavy armor. Nope.
Wow, we
And
dice
advanced
went
mech.
cold.
9,
No, I got advanced mech.
Oh, did you?
5,
1 out of 6.
Oh, I get it. So 1 out of 6. He was doing 5 out of 6 before.
22.
Anyway, we're getting near the end here of this turn, and we're pressed for time. So the Italians are going right now, and the Americans are going right now, and the British. What did they do? So the Commonwealth. Yeah, they opened up in Normandy there, and then the French. Built some stuff where they in Normandy where the British had taken it out. So pretty good down here. There's all their boats right there. Canada is pretty powerful. Like they got some good bonuses. So they're getting $10 a turn, and the Americans are going to be able to come across. They're just taking their turn now. They got lots of guys, and it's too bad you couldn't just go after the Vichy, because you could just go from take that Nice guy and end that Vichy war. But That's not the way it works. So since I talked to you, nothing's happened on the Eastern Front, but I want to show you here what's going on going into 1943. We already talked about up here. Everything is basically right on the border, right? So the Russians are contained within their own border. The Germans are not on. No, the Germans are nowhere in Russia, and there's only one Japanese guy in Russia over here, and the rest. They're moving some stuff over there, but in the mountains it's tough to move. Like before, the game has changed in version 3, right? Before you just couldn't blitz in mountains. Now your movement is restricted to 1, so you can't just skate all the way across there easily. And you know, like you've only have a limited number of things that you can rail. So it's slow moving out here in the mountains in Siberia. He's basically just moving things north there with the KMT. I don't think we're going to get to the KMT before the end of this turn. He's just trying to get his American turn in. So the James can take his German turn all week long before we get back here again. And where are we? So the FEC, they have built a couple of tactical bombers lately. Look at you, Dan. Looks like they really want to get these very few Japanese guys out of here. And he's kind of giving the Germans a break over here. The Germans are actually pretty tough in the Middle East there. They've got 2 factories, one in Syria and one in Istanbul. Plus the Italians are strong at the Suez Canal there. So they've owned Middle Earth there for the longest time. Except for, you know, like this is the border right here kind of thing, right? Because then you get the Russians and the KMT up there. And he's choosing to go east with the bulk of the stuff of the FEC rather than heading towards the Germans here. I'll show you what's going on down here. A little bit of change in hands now. Now that the Vichy have learned how to play the game a little bit. At some point, the Italians and the French are going to just have to fight. Look at all the planes in Spain. The planes in Spain look better in I don't think I've ever seen that many planes on the Iberian Peninsula.
Probably not.
So
Probably never again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 2 off the coast on Maritime Air Patrol. 13 planes there, right around the Iberian Peninsula. Nothing's changing here much. Unless these guys are putting stuff in and I don't see it. That could very well be. Looks like he's got a couple of kicked up Marines right there. Anyway, so we're moving along. When we see you again, it'll be next weekend. Are you doing any big attacks, Dan? Should we wait for it?
A couple.
Oh, tell you what, let's wait for Dan and see what he does. So the Americans are going after
We talked, but I'm sure it's going to be.
who the hell I don't know who that is.
Nice.
2 infantry. Shoot. Alright.
Did you do your landing shots?
Yeah, they all missed.
Okay. you can
2
take
fighters.
that, Bill.
And 1
Tactical. Did you go with the dudes yet?
Not yet.
4 dudes.
I'm sure you'll get me this one.
You got 2 militia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2.
There you go. Congratulations.
Lost 2 bad dudes though, but
Okay, so that's 2 up for the Dutch.
Dutch. And 2 down for the Japs.
Okay, so there. That's actually a pretty big deal because I think that island is
$2 bonus.
points at the end of the game.
It is.
So where else are you going? Oh, he's going after
Sub.
that sub over there.
gotcha.
And he got him.
He will cancel his maritime.
No,
action.
another thing that he had done is he brought a couple of planes over from Madrid over here and to go to Garage Bay. That is a battle cruiser, right? He's been doing some attacks down in here, so Americans are spreading their influence down here.
That's
What else did the Americans do?
a light
I don't think
cruiser.
anything.
No?
That's my destroyer.
The one off BC.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, I think. Defense 4, yeah.
What are you doing?
Pass me the light cruiser.
Oh, right, he's going after boats up there. And he's got a guy in BC.
Gonna do the one off Alaska. So that's a 4 and a 5.
Yep, a sub and a destroyer.
Are you fighting with your sub?
Yeah.
You don't really have to decide until after he
I
rolls.
think that's fair enough.
1.
1 hit. What am I defending at?
3 and 4.
7, 3, and 4. Got 1 hit.
He's deciding whether or not he wants to fight with that sub.
You know, the sub will
He could just sink
go
or just
submerge. Submerge.
submerge.
Destroyer. Miss.
So both American boats are okay, but the sub is gone. So you guys still got to go into BC there.
Yep.
So is that 2 elite marines?
Yep. So,
So
2
2
at
at 2 and 1 at
5.
5. Yeah.
4, 5.
Yeah, it's 5. Because it's mountainous. It's tough to roll around here in BC.
Gotcha.
What am I?
4.
Hit.
Take a marine.
It was that Japanese intern guy. He got angry.
Alright.
Anyway, so that's the way it looks from here.
I'll change the income.
Okay, so are you gonna move? Where are you gonna move these guys? Before I turn the camera off, I want to see these guys move.
They are.
If you put them in this C zone here,
No,
then
I'm,
they can
I'm
go.
going for this.
What's that?
I'm going for Gibraltar.
You're gonna what, sorry?
Go for Gibraltar.
You mean attack it?
No, I'm gonna move closer.
Oh, I see.
I'd take the Germans out. Well, then you could just take the subs back or the transports back, and just move these guys from here to here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, what are you gonna do with these guys over on here? Might as well move into the
Yeah.
same spot. So he's shocking. Move those dudes out of there first. And he's gonna move these things across. Hopefully those guys go to Europe.
They are in Europe.
No, up to here.
No, that's good Europe.
Oh, shut up. I'm coming out of the booth.
Who would have thought Spain would have been so populated?
Anyway, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this
One
episode.
thing, Brian,
We will be back. What?
why don't we roll 43 for random events?
Okay, let's do the random event.
See what happens.
We've decided
2. Ooh, an Axis coup.
Not again.
Where? Might be Peru.
Anyway, that's it.
Okay, let's just see which one it is.
Better not be Peru.
8. Mexico. So, do you re-roll it or no?
What does it say there? Anyway, that's it. So he did get an Axis coup, and we'll be back in 1943. This is General Hand Grenade. Take care, everyone.